Well, for the next 3 days, hundreds of dedicated firefighters, they're going to hit the streets and storefronts with a boot in hand, collecting donations for a great cause. The annual Fill the Boot campaign will raise critical funds to help transform the lives of kids with muscular dystrophy. And for one family right here on the First Coast, they can attest every penny counts. Anna Hobson is only 5 years old, but she has the courage of an adult.
When Anna was 3, she was diagnosed with Charcot-Marie-Tooth disease.
CMT is a neuromuscular disorder that damages the nerves in the arms and legs.
At this point, she's a wheelchair user. She uses a power chair to get around.
The Jacksonville Association of Firefighters plans to show its support for Anna and other children with similar conditions by filling the boot.
100% of these funds that the citizens are putting in the boot this weekend go directly back to muscular dystrophy.
Jacksonville currently holds the #2 spot in the state of Florida for firefighters' collections raised for the Muscular Dystrophy Association. The funds will put researchers a step closer to finding a cure.
And there is a lot of research happening. There are treatments being discovered, and one day there could be one.
We had the last couple of years some really great breakthroughs with drugs that are actually showing very promising effects and helping kids kind of live a normal life that suffer from muscular dystrophy.
If you see the firefighters standing on the corner holding their boots, donate, put your money in there because they're doing it for these kids.
Now, although most of the money goes to research, some of the funds will actually help send more than 100 kids to summer camp. The Jacksonville Association of Firefighters hopes to raise $150,000 this year, and with your help, they believe they'll reach that goal.